where we have discussed about the complete generalized measurement system, its block diagram, classification of sensors, and general input-output configuration, and methods of correction. Now, actually, we are entering into the actual our sensors topic. Transducers engineering subject we are entering now. That is second part. Just I am going to share the PPT. Okay. So first part we have discussed. The second part of this unit 1 is passive sensors. Those who are having the notes, you can write that, put heading as passive sensors. So we are going to discuss about these passive sensors completely, almost 10 to 12 classes. Now to complete this one, we'll require another 10 to 12 classes. Actually, generally, I think remaining subjects, unit అయిపోయింది, first unit అయిపోయిందా?
ఇంకా 2 క్లాస్ ఉంది.
Which subject?
NT
2 class complete అవుతుందా? Okay. What about SS?
అవ్వలేదు సార్ ఇంకా.
Okay, okay. EM?
EM కూడా అవ్వలేదు.
EDC?
అవ్వలేదు.
Okay, okay. So actual గా కంప్లీట్ చేస్తే వితిన్ 10-15 క్లాస్ I can complete. బట్ కొద్దిగా మీకు అర్థం కావాలి, స్టార్టింగ్ అవుట్ బేస్ కాబట్టి ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఎలాబరేట్లీ. ఓకే, డోంట్ వర్రీ, ఎక్కువ క్లాస్ తీసుకున్నాడు సిలబస్ కాదనుకోకండి. ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్ మాత్రం ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ ఐ విల్ డూ లైక్ దట్ ఓన్లీ. కొద్దిగా ఎలాబరేట్గా క్లియర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను నీట్గా. తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మీకు కొద్దిగా ఫాస్ట్గా చెప్తాను. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ మీకు బేస్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాబట్టి ఐ విల్ ట్రై టు కంప్లీట్ విత్ 8 or 9 క్లాసెస్. అలా సిలబస్ కావాలని చెప్పేసి ఫాస్ట్గా వెళ్ళాను, స్లోగా వెళ్ళాను ట్రై చేస్తాను. Okay, so passive sensors. What is passive sensor? Can anyone tell? Already in the first unit we have discussed about this one. Number 38. Number 38. Aishwarya, no?
which require external power source.
Words?
External power source.
Who is that?
Manogna sir.
Roll number 6. Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
What about 38? 38. Unmute your audio. 38. Rule number 38. In spite of several requests, if you are not responding, I will try to remove. There is no need of attending the class. If you are really having any problem, let's try to answer through chat. మీ రెస్పాన్స్ ఇవ్వకుంటే మేము చెప్పి వేస్ట్. Okay. Okay, actually in the first part only we have discussed about the sensors or transducers and their classification. The transducer is nothing but it is a device which converts a non-electrical quantity into electrical quantity or electrical energy. The sensor is nothing but it only sends the information and try to send it to the next part, that is the conversion element. The sensor along with the conversion element is nothing but a transducer. But almost both you can say that it is that synonyms, same meaning almost, but a small difference. The sensor along with the small signal conditioning or conversion element, that is called a transducer. So now onwards, wherever I am saying that sensor, it is also almost equal to the transducer అనుకోండి. Okay, so as already I told that all the transducers are sensors, but all sensors are not transducers. You have to remember this word. All transducers are sensors, but all sensors are not transducers. Why? Because for some sensors it requires some external conversion element, then only it becomes converts completely from any quantity into some electrical energy. It may convert into another quantity, but we may not measure, we may not read. సో కంప్లీట్ మనకు రీడబుల్ ఫామ్ రావాలంటే కొద్దిగా మళ్ళీ కన్వర్షన్ ఫామ్ ఇంకో కన్వర్షన్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. సో దట్స్ వై we can say that all transducers are sensors, but all sensors are not transducers. Sometimes in the competitive examinations, they may give this type of questions. They give this word, all sensors are transducers, all transducers are not sensors. In this third, true or false, sorry, about true or false, only one is false, only one is right. I would object those type. Competitive exam lo. Just try to remember this word. All transducers are sensors, but all sensors are not transducers. Okay. So in the classification of transducers, we have discussed that depending upon we can classify the sensors with different classifications, and depending upon the power source, okay, depending upon the transaction form they are used, and depending upon the output, okay, depending upon the type of output. So depending upon the transaction, they are classified into resistive, capacitive, inductive transducers or sensors. And depending upon the type of output, they are classified as analog and digital. And depending upon type of output, they are classified as null type sensors and deflection type sensors. And depending upon the stage we are using, they are classified as primary sensors and secondary sensors. And depending upon the power source, need of power source, they are classified into active sensors and passive sensors. So we have discussed all the classification. So in that, in this first unit, second part, we have to discuss about, we have to concentrate on the passive sensors. So this is already, this slide I have discussed in the last class only. Based on need for a power supply, the sensors can be classified as active and passive sensors. Active sensors are those which do not require external power source for their functioning, whereas passive sensors require external power source for their functioning. That means passive sensors require the external energy for converting from one form to other form, whereas active sensors does not require any external energy or power for their function or for converting one form to another form. So these active sensors are also called as self-generating sensors, whereas passive sensor called as externally, otherwise externally powered sensors, or they are also called as modulating sensors. And why they are called as active, called as self-generating? They can generate their own energy from the measurand for their functioning. What do you call a measurand? The parameter to be measured, the quantity to be measured is nothing but measurand. So it can take the energy from the measurand itself. Those are called as active sensors. Whereas passive sensors require the external energy. So almost most of the resistive, inductive, capacitive sensors are passive. Okay, now, so as per our syllabus, again, they are divided into 3 subtopics as per syllabus. Those are passive sensors, resistive sensors, capacitive sensors, inductive sensors. So in this second part, we are discussing again these 3 subtopics: resistive, capacitive, and inductive sensors. Okay. So what is the meaning of resistive sensor? And what is the meaning of capacitive sensor? And what is the meaning of inductive sensors? The resistive transducers convert the physical quantities into variable resistance, which can be measured by the meters. Otherwise, the transducer which converts any type of quantity into variable resistance are called resistive transducers. So by using the same definition, can anyone tell what is capacitive transducer? Number 4, Apurva. Apurva. Number 4. So I am repeating once again, Apurva, just listen. Resistive transducer are the transducers which converts any physical quantity into variable resistance. Now, if you understand that one, can you tell what is capacitive transducer?
Which converts variable resistor into physical resistor? Physical quantity.
Resistive tran nothing but converts physical quantity into variable resistance. Now, number 10.
Sir,
Can you
which
guess?
converts physical quantity into variable capacitance element.
Very good, very good. Okay, simply as like the above definition, we can say that the transducers which converts the any physical quantity into variable capacitance are nothing but capacitive sensors or capacitive transducers. In the similar way, you can also define for another inductive transducer. These are actually classified depending upon their transaction form, how they are going to convert the quantity into electrical quantity, in which form. If they are going to convert the non-electric quantity into resistance form, they are called as resistive transducers. If they are going to convert some non-electric quantity into some capacitance, we call as capacitive transducer. In a similar way, as per our syllabus, we are going to discuss another one that is called inductive transducer. Now, number 14. Can you guess?
The physical quantities which converts into variable inductance easily.
Very good, very good. Number 31. Kiriti. 31.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you mean by capacitive transducer? Number 31. What do you mean by capacitive transducer? (22)
Which converts physical quantity into variable capacitance.
Very good. Very simple. You have to respond. Next time you respond, అడిగిన తర్వాత కూడా ఇట్లా మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవాలనుకోండి, అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవాలనుకోండి, simply I will remove from the class. Okay. So this is about the basics. The transducers or sensors which converts physical quantity into variable resistance are called resistive transducer, which converts physical quantities or non-electrical quantity into variable capacitance are called capacitive transducers, or simply you can also call as variable capacitance transducer. Resistive is also called as variable resistance transducer. Both are same. And the transducers which convert the physical quantity into variable inductance are called inductive transducers or variable inductance transducers. So the first part we'll discuss about the resistive transducers. So now the process of variation in resistance is widely used in industrial applications. In most of the industries, for measurement of displacement, temperature, we are using the resistive transducers. The transducer whose resistance varies because of environmental effects. Such type of transducer is also known as resistive transducers. What are environmental effects? That may be due to some pressure change, or due to some temperature change, or due to some displacement change, or if there are any change in resistance, those are also called as resistive transducers. This resistive transducer is used for measuring the physical quantities like temperature, displacement, vibration. Sometimes we can also measure the flow, we can also measure the strain, etc. These resistive transducers are used for measuring the physical quantities like temperature, displacement, pressure, vibration, strain, etc. So now we'll discuss. So first part we are going to discuss about resistive sensors. So these are the different resistive sensors to be discussed as per our syllabus. Those are potentiometers, strain gauges, resistive temperature detectors, which are called as RTDs, or sometimes these are also called as resistive or resistance thermometer devices. Both are same. Resistance thermometer devices or resistive temperature detectors. Both are same. RTDs. Next, thermistors, LDRs, light dependent resistors, and resistive hygrometers. Generally, the potentiometers are used for measurement of displacement. That may be translational or linear displacement, or maybe rotational displacement. Strain gauges, as name itself implies, they are used for measurement of strain. Strain gauges are used for measurement of strain. By using the same principle, the strain gauges can also be used for measurement of sometimes force, weight, etc. Resistive temperature detectors that can be used for measurement of temperature. Thermistors are also used for measurement of temperatures. LDRs, actually that can be used for measurement of light intensity. But by using the same principle, they are having some different applications. They can also use it for measurement of displacement. And resistive hygrometers. Can anyone tell what is hygrometer? Do you have any idea? Hygrometer. Hygrometer, have you heard about the word? Number 9, Joshta.
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Okay, anyone? 31.
సార్ అది హ్యూమిడిటీని మెజర్ చేయడానికి కదా సార్ అది వాడేది.
Very good, very good. Who is that? Number
36 సార్.
36. Okay, very good. Pravina?
Yes sir.
Okay, very good, very good. Hygrometers are used for measurement of humidity. So what is meant by humidity, I will discuss. Okay. Generally, hygrometers, humidity, there is some small difference on the hydrometers. ఇక G space లో D ఉంటుంది. Hydrometers. Anyone? Hydrometer మీరు నెక్స్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తారు ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంటేషన్ లో. HYDROMETRS, హైడ్రోమీటర్స్. ఇవన్నీ మీకు 10th క్లాస్ లో ఇంటర్మీడియట్ లో ఫిజిక్స్ లో వచ్చి ఉంటాయి. You can guess whether it is right or wrong. You can try to tell.
గ్రావిటీయా?
Density.
వాటర్ డెన్సిటీ సార్.
లిక్విడ్స్ కి మెజర్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తారు.
Very good.
లిక్విడ్స్ కి
Very good.
స్పెసిఫిక్ గ్రావిటీ కోసం కదా సార్.
Okay.
Related to
Good attempts.
density.
Hydrometers are used for measurement of density. Very good. Almost 2-3 members have responded correctly. It's good. So, as per our syllabus, we are going to, in the coming class, we are going to discuss about all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sensors, which are resistive sensors. So now once again I am telling what is resistive sensor or transducer. That is nothing but the transducers which converts a physical quantity into variable resistance. Physical quantity into variable resistance. So actually almost all these resistive sensors are falling in the passive sensors, in the group of passive sensors. Passive is nothing but which requires external power source. So how it requires external power source? If we are not providing external source, what happens? That we are going to discuss in detail about all these sensors. Okay. First, before going to discuss about the all sensors, first we'll discuss the basic idea of resistive sensors. The most familiar equation which will be useful for our resistive transducers, that is a resistance of a conductor. The most familiar equation, that is resistance of any conductor, is given by an equation R equal to rho L by A. You have discussed this equation in your physics of intermediate or at 10th class also. R equal to rho L by A. If you take any one, maybe if you take this, if you are taking this as a conductor, this having some length L, this having some cross-sectional area A, and it is having some resistivity. So as the length of this conductor increases, resistance also increases. So where R is nothing but resistance in ohms, Rho is the resistivity, that is depending upon the, that is nothing but opposite of conductivity, that is depending upon its structure, number of electrons and number of protons. Okay. L is the length of the conductor. A is the cross-sectional area. Okay, I will discuss in detail also. So that means if you observe this equation, the resistance of any conductor can be varied by changing any one of these three parameters. If the length is changing, the resistance will change. If the cross-section area changes, then also the resistance changes. If the resistivity changes, the resistance changes. That means the resistance is depending upon all these three parameters, that is length, resistivity, and cross-section area. So we can change the resistance by any one of these three parameters, and if recently observe that if any one of these three parameters is changed by any physical quantity which is to be measured, then we can able to convert that physical quantity into resistance. And now if you are able to measure that resistance and if you are able to convert the resistance into some voltage, then we can measure that physical quantity. So like that, these are acting as sensors to measure the physical quantities. If you take in the world, there are three types of metals. Can anyone tell what are different types of materials available? If you take anything in the world, mostly they are classified into three types of materials. What are those?
Solids,
Okay.
semiconductors, insulators.
Very good.
Inductors.
Very good. In the world, there are three types of materials exist. That is conductors, semiconductors, and insulators. As you know that insulators cannot allow the passage of current through it. Okay. So most of the conductors and also some cases semiconductors also, their resistance is depending upon their length and its cross-sectional area and also its material construction. That is nothing but resistivity, the property of material which using. Okay. So the resistance of any material, any conducting material is depending upon the three parameters: resistivity, length, and cross-sectional area. So generally, the resistance is proportional to the resistivity and length and inversely proportional to cross-sectional area. As the cross-sectional area increases, the resistance will decrease. As the length increases, resistance increases. So this is the basic fundamental of the, or basic principle of resistive transducers. Almost all these transducers, almost all these 6 sensors which are going to discuss is depending upon this principle. The principle is nothing but the resistance of the element is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and resistivity and inversely proportional to the area of the conductor. Okay. So this is resistive transducer designed by considering the variation of resistance in case of length, area, and resistivity of the material. Now, we will discuss one by one of these 6 parameters. Just I will start in the next class, but simple principle I will discuss here. The resistance of conductor varies with the variation in the length. As already I have discussed, length, area, and resistivity. For the potentiometer, the principle is depending upon the variation in their lengths. Therefore, that it can be used for measurement of displacement. Whereas for strain gauges, the resistance of conducting material changes when strain occurs on it. So what is strain? Already in the last class I have discussed. Strain is nothing but change in length per unit length. So if it is having 10 centimeter, if you're applying some force like this, it may be changed from 10 to some 9.5 centimeters, maybe compressed. How much amount of change occur? 0.5 centimeters. So that is 0.5 divided by 10 centimeters, nothing but strain. So when you're applying this type of strain, it undergoes strain. Then what happens? The length is decreased here. When you apply compression force, length decreases. Or when you apply elongation force, length increases. And also in another property, when you apply compression force like this, what happens? Length decrease avutundi, area increase avutundi. So ultimately resistance is changing. So our principle మీద strain gauges are working. And also third one, this is based upon other principle. The resistance of metals changes because of change in temperature. As the temperature increases, the resistance of the metal also increases. That is nothing but positive temperature coefficient of resistance antam. Especially for metals, conductors. As the temperature increases, resistance also increases. So that property can be used for measuring the temperature. So that is resistance thermometer devices, RTDs antam. The similar way, thermistor, same principle but opposite. As the temperature increases, resistance decreases. That you can call it as negative temperature coefficient of resistance antam. Especially for semiconductor materials, as the temperature increases, the resistance will decreases. Inversely proportional. As the temperature decreases, resistance will increase. So this property can also be used for measurement of temperature. Those are called as thermistor. And next, a light dependent resistance resistor that works on the principle of photoconductivity. That means as the light intensity falling on the material, the resistance of that material changes. It is a passive component. Basically, it is a resistor whose resistance value decreases when intensity of light decreases. Okay, next, last one, resistive hygrometer. This utilizes the principle that electrical resistance varies in a material that absorbs moisture. Almost moisture and humidity, both are synonyms, similar words, but there is small difference. Moisture, humidity, and I will tell you this. I will discuss later. Okay, so this is about the just overview about the second part of the first unit. So we are going to discuss about these 6 sensors: potentiometers, strain gauges, resistant thermometer devices, RTDs, thermistors, LDR, and resistive hygrometer. So in the next class, we will start the first sensor, which is called as potentiometer. Okay. So with this, I'm going to conclude this class. So next class, we'll start the potentiometer. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.